Hello guys, we are back with another Warhammer video. We are on our 9th Primarch, I think, maybe 10th. I lost count. Video by Remembrancer, FERRUS MANUS. I think it's Iron Hands. Yeah, nothing really to tell. The bug to the people who watched the previous video. The bug, I still don't know whatever has managed to kidnap it. It's still in my room. I'm still scared. But other than that, I'm here for FERRUS MANUS because it's very fun to say it. FERRUS MANUS, FERRUS MANUS, FERRUS MANUS.
Rest. We were not made to rest. We go on, unflinching, unstoppable, unending in our strength. The Emperor did not make us for such mortal concerns as hearth and home, vanity or contemplation. We are his engines of war, his hammers, beating out the fabric of existence into a vessel.
Dude, I'm sorry. We are his engines of war sounded so cool.
Fit for mankind to inhabit. Many of the Primarchs of the Imperium are adored for their benevolence, but not all exhibit the traits of grace or kindness. Though the traitor Primarchs particularly are remembered for their bloodlust and cold demeanor, there is one true son of the Emperor whose commitment to the Imperium's ideals were ironclad. A Primarch whom, should he achieve his goals and duties without fault, would care not how the subjects of the Imperium would see him. A taskmaster and courageous leader, this Primarch led his legion as a harsh but fair commander. Primarch of the 10th Legion, FERRUS MANUS. As the sons of the Emperor were scattered throughout the stars, FERRUS MANUS's pod would land on the feral world of Medusa, impacting on the highest mountain, Karashi, the ice pinnacle. The capsule.
Okay, guys. First of all, what the fuck is a feral world? Feral world. Feral world is the imperial phenological classification for a human settled planet whose population is composed of nomadic hunter-gatherers, or so it's basically humans 200,000 years ago.
Shattered the mountaintop, burying itself deep into the ice. Medusa's surface collapsing, reforming and shifting with the arrival of the Primarch. Growing in solitude, FERRUS would inspect the markings on his pod embossed with an X. Realizing it not to be native of the world, Manus would further examine runes and electroconductive stalagmites within the chamber.
Wait, so he landed basically into a world which had Necron Tomb
which he
world?
lived. His interference awakening a colossal biomechanical worm that lay dormant beneath the chamber, and after a futile effort to fight it, FERRUS would watch the creature escape and destroy everything within its path. The young boy would swear that one day it would die by his hands. The boy would then observe the world outside, seeing humans in the distance but remaining hidden from their gaze. As years passed, the clans of Medusa would discuss sightings of a strange boy, being dubbed names by the many sects and groupings of inhabitants such as the Cataclysm, the Hunter, the Finality, and the Son of Man.
Yeah, the Cataclysm. Imagine you're someone calls you the oh my god, my ego would go through the roof.
More years passed until the Primarch was fully grown. Unscathed from living isolated within the mountain's core, Manus would not join with the clans of Medusa, instead seeking challenges on the planet to test his might and resilience. Slaying many ferocious beasts would prove his raw strength, culminating with his battle against the great silver worm, Asirnoth, the metallic beast which he had vowed to destroy. Impervious to conventional weapons, FERRUS would drown it in a river of magma, its flesh melting and fusing with the Primarch's arms, imbuing the Primarch with his legendary necrodermis-coated arms, with which his future legion would make their namesake.
That's so cool. I actually never knew why did his hands become, metallic. So it's how Remembrancer said, it's basically necrodermis, the thing that Necrons are made of, basically became his hands. That's so cool.
Returning to the clans and tribes, Manus would divulge his knowledge of technology, advancing their stunted civilization and allowing Medusa to prosper under the rule of his iron grip. Though the clans would fight amongst themselves, FERRUS would never intervene, seeing the competition wrought by their infighting to be healthy for their continued improvement. With the arrival of the Emperor,
I actually never thought of that, but I mean, in modern world, competition is good. You don't want really for everything to be a monopoly, which sadly everything is. But yeah.
Manus would test his father through battle, leveling entire mountains as they fought. Manus would relish the test of his strength, and willingly bend the knee to a warrior worthy of matching his power. Assuming command of the 10th Legion, the Iron Hands would stand obediently at their father's side, for soon they would be needed to fight the Emperor's great crusade. Fulgrim would be one of the first Primarchs to meet FERRUS Manus. Initially, Manus would show disdain for his brother, seeing him as a foppish artist wasting time on culture, whilst the reclamation of the galaxy was at stake. Fulgrim would jokingly refer to FERRUS as the Gorgon, a mythical Terran creature renowned for its ugliness and ability.
You know what? I see. Yeah, Fulgrim would do that.
Stone. The moniker would resound throughout the Imperium as fitting for the Primarch of the Iron Hands, the Legion bringing untold thousands of planets into compliance due to their Primarch's remorseless and relentless drive to fulfill the will of his Emperor, purging every weak link in his chain of command or non-compliant world in pursuit of strengthening the Imperium. Fighting alongside the Emperor's children on many occasions, such as the compliance of the human disparate civilization, the two legions would forge tremendous bonds of trust and friendship, despite their unlikely contrast as warriors.
Don't you guys wish that everything went different and the Emperor's children were loyal? Imagine how much cool stuff would come out of it, but no.
Fulgrim had even boasted that
evil sword had to corrupt our boy.
He would create the perfect weapon to wield in the coming Great Crusade. As a master craftsman, the Gorgon would not let such a boast go unwarranted, and decided that they should compete to craft the finest weapons. Manus forged a sword known as Fireblade, its edge able to ignite alike to that of the Emperor's own weapon of choice, with Fulgrim forging the mighty Warhammer Forgebreaker, a weapon capable of leveling entire mountains. The two would see their brother's craftsmanship as superior and concede defeat, and in an act of respect and solidarity, exchange their weapons.
That is like top 10 wholesome things that happened in Warhammer. Pre-heresy.
Their bond as brothers, now complete. However, during the Horus Heresy, their kinship would be tested and tragically torn asunder. Fulgrim would be lured by the temptations of chaos, and before the beginning stages of the heresy, would try to persuade FERRUS Manus to join his cause. Enraged at even the suggestion of such an act, FERRUS attacked Fulgrim, a short duel wherein FERRUS would break Fireblade, mirroring the breaking of the bond of their brotherhood. Due to a hesitation to kill his brother for his treachery, Fulgrim would take the opportunity to strike FERRUS unconscious and claim his own creation, Forgebreaker. The Gorgon's elite honor guard of the Morlocks would be ambushed and killed during the deception, injuring their captain Gabriel Santor, letting him watch the betrayal unfold. Gaining consciousness, FERRUS Manus would resolve to enact his revenge on his traitorous brother. Departing with all haste, the Gorgon would lead a charge of loyalist legions to destroy the traitor forces before their armies.
You know, I'm still thinking about one thing he said where Fulgrim tried to make FERRUS Manus to join Chaos. And you know, we always say, what if FERRUS Manus succeeded and basically managed to get Fulgrim back on track? But what if otherwise, you know, Fulgrim did succeed and FERRUS Manus would join Chaos? I wonder how would it look like. I feel like the Iron Hands would be something like of Iron Warriors. They would also use demons as shock troops. Oh, however, maybe I'm wrong. I'm still stuck on that.
Engage the wider Imperium. With the aid of the Salamanders, Raven Guard, Night Lords, Iron Warriors, Word Bearers, and Alpha Legion at his command, they would quash the traitor legions of the World Eaters, Death Guard, Sons of Horus, and Emperor's Children with overwhelming force of numbers. The battle would take place on Istvan V, with the Loyalist initial waves of Vulcan, Corvus Corax, FERRUS, MANUS and their respective legions engaging the traitors, with victory assured should their Loyalist inbound legions be at their side. Their trust in their brothers would be misplaced. As the second wave descended upon Istvan V, they would show their true colours. With the strength of 8 traitor legions, they would crush the Loyalists. Istvan V was no longer a battle.
Wait, so at this time, well, basically the traitors were like at full capacity while the Loyalists were like still gathering.
It was a massacre. In an act of desperate defiance, FERRUS Manus would command his men to kill as many Emperor's children as they could. The Gorgon would face his brother Fulgrim again in battle, but this time
I'm still stuck with he calls FERRUS Manus the Gorgon.
only one Primarch would survive. FERRUS wielded Fireblade, reforged by his hand for one purpose, to end Fulgrim's life. Fulgrim would fight with the Layer Blade, a demon-infused sword which would aid Fulgrim's strike, cutting the head from the Gorgon's neck. With news of FERRUS Manus' death, Rabute Gilliman of the Ultramarines would grieve at the loss of his most favoured brother, with even Horus Lupercal claiming the Gorgon's skull and rambling to its facade, confiding that he lamented FERRUS' choice not to stand by his side during the Great War to end the Imperium. Though later in the Heresy, in a final act of defiance, Manus would be reborn during the Battle of the Webway.
He was reborn. Wait, what? I thought, even in Fulgrim video, remember to said Fulgrim killed FERRUS Manus, and I was like, okay, that's it.
By the Emperor himself, fighting alongside the fallen heroes of the Imperium as a blazing spectre against the demonic hordes.
Oh.
The skull of FERRUS
He was resurrected not in the way I thought he
Manus would be returned to the Iron Hands. To this day, it rests upon the altar of the Eye of Medusa, guarded by the chapter's stalwart, Hellfather.
They are not my hands. This fact is forgotten by my brothers. Inexplicably, it has always seemed to me. The hands are strong, to be sure, and have created great things for us all, but they are not mine, and that counts for something. They forget that the silver on my arms comes from a beast that I vanquished. It is the mark of a great evil that I ended, and yet it persists within me. I would struggle to remove it now. I will not remove the silver from my flesh because I have learned to depend on it. The fault is with my mind. I rely on the augmentation given to me by my metal gauntlets, so much so that the flesh beneath them is now little more than a distant memory. A day will come when I will strip it from me, lest I lose the power to master myself forever. Already my legion's warriors replaced their shield hands with metal in my honor, and so they are too learning to doubt the natural strength of their bodies. They must be weaned of this practice before it becomes a mania for them. Hatred of what is natural, of what is human, is the first and greatest of the corruptions. So I record it here. When the time comes, I will strip my hands of their unnatural silver. I will instruct my legion to recant their distrust of the flesh. I will turn them away from the gifts of the machine and bid them to relearn the mysteries of the flesh, bone and blood. When my father's crusade is over, this shall be my sacred task. When the fighting is done, I shall cure my legion and myself. For if fighting is all there is, if we may never pause to reflect on what such devotion to strength is doing to us, then our compulsion will only grow.
Okay, so it seems like he understands that augmentation made him like significantly stronger, and he's very not happy that he became very dependent on it, with his necrodermus hands, and he doesn't like the fact that all of his legion is also stripping away their flesh to replace them with, you know, metal parts, to trust machine more than their own flesh. And seems like he really believed that in the end, when all the crusades would come to an end and humanity would basically restore its previous glory before all the AI warp stuff shenanigans happened. He thought that one day he would try to transform his legion back to basically throw away the machine parts and try to become human again. I'm sorry guys, I butchered everything I said. Hopefully you not mad and understood what I was trying to say.
This has been a tale of the great Imperium of Man, read by the Remembrancer. Sons of Ultramar, march for Macragge, for in my next Vox transmission, I shall elucidate the deeds of Primarch Rabute Gilliman.
You know, I'm kind of still thinking about it. You know, I never like thought I would care about Iron Hands, but seeing that, you know, now after that quote specifically, I'm thinking about them differently. Like, he understood that he's using it for the better of humanity, but he always wanted in the end to become human, like, again, well, as close as human as he can be, because Space Marines are like, you know, in all departments basically demigods. Yeah, I never knew he was reborn, well, reawakened, you know. That's actually cool. You know what? Right now we had like 4 Royalist Primarchs, so Lionel Johnson, Jagatai Khan. Oh no, we had Lemon Russ, and now we have FERRUS MANUS, and I must say it. FERRUS MANUS is probably my favorite Royalist Primarch. Well, we had Sanguinius, which, okay, Sanguinius is number 1 for me, but FERRUS MANUS is like second, okay? I think that when we will finish also with all of the Primarchs, I think I'm gonna do my own video, another reaction, where I would rate all the Primarchs and try to put them in my tier list. You know, yeah, that's a good idea. I would definitely will have to do that. Again, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you, Remember, sir, for making this video. Please leave a like. If you didn't like it, well, you know, you can just not watch my reaction. Please subscribe. It means a lot. Sorry for all the terrible ramblings, or maybe you like them. Yeah. Ciao, Kakao.